This podcast is sponsored by ScienceBasedLearning.com. Discover your passion for languages with our innovative ebook, audiobook, and video system. Maximize retention using spaced repetition. Start your journey today.
How self-regulation boosts language retention for adult learners. Discover how self-regulation impacts language retention and improves adult language learning through focused practice and science-backed strategies. The relationship between self-regulation and language retention. For many adult learners, mastering a new language can feel like an uphill battle. Despite the abundance of resources and language courses available, retaining vocabulary, grammar rules, and conversational skills often remains a challenge. One key element that plays a significant role in successful language retention is self-regulation. But what exactly is self-regulation? And how does it influence your ability to remember and use a new language effectively? What is self-regulation? Self-regulation refers to the ability to manage your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors in a way that helps you achieve your goals. In the context of learning, it involves staying motivated, focusing attention, managing time wisely, and adapting strategies based on progress. When applied to language retention, self-regulation helps learners stay consistent, overcome obstacles, and maintain the discipline required to practice regularly. Why self-regulation matters for language retention. Language acquisition isn't just about repeated exposure to words and phrases. It's deeply tied to how learners engage with the material and control their study habits. Adults often have to balance language learning with busy schedules, work commitments, and family responsibilities. The ability to self-regulate becomes essential to prioritizing language practice and effectively reinforcing what has been learned. Focused practice. Self-regulated learners tend to design study sessions that maximize focus rather than just quantity. Instead of mindless repetition, they engage actively with the language, which strengthens memory. Goal setting. Setting clear, achievable goals like learning a set number of new words or holding a 5-minute conversation provides direction and motivation for sustained learning. Reflection and adjustment. Self-regulation allows learners to reflect on what techniques are working or not and change their approach. This might mean trying flashcards over audio drills or incorporating more speaking practice. Overcoming plateaus. Language learners frequently encounter plateaus where progress seems slow. Self-regulation helps maintain motivation even during these phases by focusing on small wins and consistent effort. The science behind self-regulation and memory in language learning. Studies in cognitive psychology have shown that memory plays a central role in how language is retained. The science of language learning supports the idea that techniques such as spaced repetition and active recall yield better retention results. However, without self-regulation, even the best learning strategies can fail to stick. Self-regulation supports memory retention because it encourages regular review sessions at optimal intervals, which combats the natural forgetting curve. When learners self-regulate effectively, they create habits that align with how the brain encodes and retrieves language data. Practical tips to improve self-regulation in language learning. Coaching. Now it's your turn to try, but the expert is right there offering help, feedback, and encouragement. This continuous interaction supports you as you attempt to put ideas into practice, highlighting what you're doing well and what might need tweaking. Set specific, measurable goals. Instead of vague goals like study French, aim for learn 10 new French verbs by Friday. This clarity makes it easier to stay on track. Create a consistent study routine. Designate a specific time each day for language practice, whether it's 15 minutes or an hour. Consistency reduces decision fatigue and builds habit strength. Monitor your progress. Keep a journal or use an app to track what you practice and what you've mastered. Reflection fosters accountability and motivation. Minimize distractions. Language learning requires focus. Find a quiet space, turn off notifications, or use apps that block digital distractions during study time. Use feedback effectively. Seek corrections, whether from a tutor, language partner, or through self-assessment. Self-regulation means using this feedback to adjust your techniques or study materials. How technology can help support self-regulation. In this digital age, many platforms and tools are designed to combine the science of language learning with structure and consistency. One great example is ScienceBasedLearning.com, which offers a simple ebook, audiobook, and video language learning system complemented by an online practice app that leverages the science behind spaced repetition. This system helps adult language learners by breaking down learning into manageable chunks, reminding users to review vocabulary and phrases at scientifically optimal intervals, providing multiple formats, visual, auditory, and interactive, which supports different learning styles and keeps engagement high, creating an environment where learners can set goals, monitor their progress, and adjust their practice, reinforcing self-regulation habits. For anyone serious about adult language learning, using a structure that applies proven memory science alongside tools that encourage self-discipline can dramatically improve both acquisition and retention. Final thoughts. Learning a new language in adulthood is absolutely achievable, but it requires more than just exposure or motivation. The ability to self-regulate your learning schedule, technique, and mindset is a powerful factor that influences long-term retention. By understanding the relationship between self-regulation and memory, adult language learners can take more control over their language acquisition journey. Start by setting clear goals, maintaining consistent practice, reflecting on your learning, and using science-backed tools to guide your progress. If you want to tap into effective learning methods that harness both self-regulation and memory science, check out sciencebasedlearning.com. Their integrated system helps adult learners retain language skills faster and more completely, making the process smoother, smarter, and more enjoyable.